2 years ago, the government gave a guarantee that by the end of 2009, all women would have a choice of how and where they gave birth. But the Royal College of Midwives estimates that at least 50% are currently able to, only at least 50% are currently able to choose between a home birth, hospital and midwives unit. So when one South London community midwifery practice had its contract terminated last week on safety grounds, mothers took their protests onto the streets amid allegations of bullying and massaging of data. Save the Albany. These parents are angry. Their local NHS midwives, specialists in home births, are being closed down by King's, the hospital ultimately responsible for their care. They wear crowns to prove a point. It should be the Queen who chooses where her child is born.
I transferred my care to the Albany, and from the moment that they took me on, I suddenly felt confident in my ability to give birth. I felt supported in my decisions about where I wanted to have the baby and how I wanted to have the baby. I felt cared for.
There's going to be women there now going through all sorts of things they wouldn't have had to go through without the Albany's there to support them and hold their hands. So I'm truly devastated about it.
So why has this happened? Kings say the Albany just don't follow the rules and are in fact dangerous. It started when Nathan Keme was delivered in October last year, suffering from brain damage. He died a week later. His mother, Joanna, had previously had a cesarean and needed special care. Albany, it's claimed, misadvised her.
In this case, they completely ignored the NICE guidelines.
And had they followed them, Nathan would be alive?
Yes, and there's specific confirmation of that from the obstetrician at the inquest.
Kings investigated Albany's safety record and last week cancelled their contract. But Albany supporters tell More4 News that Kings hand-picked selective data, and the Kings report itself concludes the study methodology employed does not lend itself to meaningful statistical analysis. And a Nursing and Midwifery Council investigation has since cleared Albany of all wrongdoing during the Keme birth. Kings, though, stand by their decision, telling us in a statement the figures weren't massaged. In the 2.5-year period prior to January 2009, we identified the number of babies admitted to our neonatal unit was far greater in women under Albany care than women cared for by other midwifery practices. All these cases were presented for review. Midwifery campaigners, however, say Albany's safety record is in fact far better than King's, that they're being intimidated for offering midwife instead of doctor-led care, and it's indicative of a national trend.
Outraged. It is a manifestation of the kind of bullying that's been going on for the last 10 years or more, of midwives who are trying to provide the kind of care that women want and what the government says it wants to have provided.
The Department of Health policy is that by the end of this year, every woman should be able to choose how and where she gives birth. But home delivery rates are barely moving in the last decade, going up from just under 2 to just under 3%. We asked the government for an interview about the possible national implications of what's going on at King's and the Albany, but the government insists it is a local issue only, and they're refusing to comment. Kings say all the expectant Albany mothers will still be able to give birth at home if they want, but with other community midwives under closer central supervision. Kings point out their home delivery rates are well above the average, but the government remains a long way off meeting its stated national policy. Estimates vary, but over half and as many as 95% of women live in areas that still don't offer home births.
No, it was the very